Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you are not doing well, I am happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So I wanted to talk to you guys about how I have been feeling and the dreams that I've had for the last 2 days back to back. And maybe some of you guys can relate to the energy that I am feeling. And maybe some of you can get some guidance and get prepared for the portal that is opened up and make the most of the energy. So when it comes to the dreams, like yesterday, I woke up from a dream where I was given a huge bag of fish. And when I got the bag of fish, like, I don't know how I got it, but I started off the dream with it. And I noticed that there were big ones in there, small ones in there, and different things like that. And when I looked at them, in the dream, it felt like I got an assignment to take them with me, take them home with me, and, basically probably put them in the pond near me or create a pond for them or something. They were my responsibility. But in the dream, I panicked and thought, wow, it might take too long for me to get them home and get them in water, so they might die. So instead, I decided to return them back to this pond. It wasn't even a pond, it was a port. And the port was more like a portal. It was like a hole in the ground. And when I brought them back there, like, I thought they haven't been without water for a while, so they might be dying. But that wasn't the case. It's almost like when food is dehydrated and you put it in water, it just kind of like expand back to form. Just flashing a little bit of water on the fish, like the tiniest one had so much energy, it was like lightning. But like when I thought to throw them back into the big square space in the ground, which was like a portal, it's like I noticed that there were nets lined up, like people were out there with their fishing nets trying to catch something, coming out of this portal. So, after reflecting on the dream, I realized that, because I am vegan, immediately I thought about the lives of the fish, but they were already out of the water, and me trying to save them by putting them back would only cause them to land in the nets of others. And, even though I felt like I didn't have what it took to take care of them, when I shared the dream with someone and they gave me some perspective, I realized that they were better off with me because, them landing in someone else's net would have made them food, where, them going home with me, at least they would be safe and I would take care of them. And then the dream that I woke up from today is one where it's like I'm sitting in my living room and I noticed something moved. And when I looked, it was like 2 baby ducks that were taking refuge. Then there was like a German shepherd, a big golden looking dog. And it was just a bunch of different animals started coming out of the shadows. And all I had to do was open the door and they were able to walk out freely. It kind of reminded me of a Noah Ark type of situation. And now, finally, last night, I was having a conversation with someone and the conversation was going so good. And then all of a sudden, I guess, CNN must have sent an alert to their phone that was telling them about the murders that happened in Chicago. And I'm not even going to get into detail, but the person got so enraged and got so angry about what happened and was looking for me to join the party and get angry too. And I was explaining to this person that, like, you have to learn how to use your energy wisely. You have to learn not to just give your energy to people, places, or things, that's just going to rob you of your energy. That was the whole point of that message coming out to you. I said to the person, like, what can we do? What can you do to help those people? What can you do to help them? What can you do to make their lives better? Instead, think of ways how you can help instead of allowing yourself to lower your vibration. I'm like, look at you're on your way home from a long day's work, where maybe when you got home, you probably would have eaten something healthy. But based on the vibration that you're in, because you're upset, now you're definitely going to need to escape reality and, maybe smoke a few cigarettes or have a drink or eat something that you probably didn't want to eat. But now you feel powerless because of the situation and spewing more negative energy back into the atmosphere based on that experience. And after reflecting, the person was like, yeah, you're right. It's like them reflecting, they realized how all it took was one headline to completely take control of their energy and cause them to start manifesting against their own will, cause them to feel powerless, and then spread that powerless energy. So with this portal coming up, I think it's interesting how the first dream was a portal in the ground, and people trying to catch things out of the portal. With the portal coming up, check out my new moon video talking about the Lion's Gate. And I talk about, how this portal will open up. And with this portal opening up, of course, good things can come through. And of course, other challenging things can come through. And what came to mind as I was relaxing and reflecting earlier, or mainly in my meditation, when I was in my meditation, I felt this energy that I felt before. It's almost like a lower vibrational type of being. It's like there's groups of lower vibrational beings. And that's just their vibration. As humans, we were conditioned to identify people or describe people based on their physical features. Whereas empaths, we can describe people based off their energy, their vibration, the essence when it comes to what they're putting out energetically. So with these lower vibrational beings, it's almost like they have this beastly aggressive energy to them. And since waking up this morning, I can feel their energy so much stronger. And the last time I felt their energy was around a full moon. I don't remember what full moon it was exactly, but I remember mentioning it to you guys in a video. So it's interesting how whenever we're having these new moon and full moon, the veil is so much thinner and you can feel beings that you normally couldn't feel because of whatever barrier separates us. So when I go back to the dream that I had about, the animals in the space or whatever, normally when lizards come in, I would get so bent out of shape until the other day I was on the yoga mat and I noticed a little baby lizard got in and it was at the glass trying to get out. And all I had to do was open the glass and it walked right out. And when I go back to the dream, I realize, we are all sharing this space and we're all energy. And, energy is always trying to survive. Energy will always survive because energy doesn't die. So basically, when these lower vibrational beings or whatnot come into our space, all we have to do is open the door and let them out. And open the door and letting them out will look different in different situations. Opening the door and letting them out in some situations would look like you raising your vibration. Raising your vibration by consuming foods and information that puts you in a positive and optimistic energy, opposed to you being in a lower vibration and then harboring that energy. It's like when our body is in an is acidic. Whenever our body is acidic, it is a breeding ground for bacteria and all kind of things that doesn't serve our highest good, makes us sick, create cancers and things like that. But when we balance out our pH balance out our gut, certain things that isn't good for us cannot dwell there. And that's the same thing with our energy. So it's important for us to not allow things going on in the world to get us caught up in it. Because as I was speaking to the person, like I thought about the new moon video that I made recently and how I talked about how there will be so many challenging aspects to the new moon, to the Leo energy. And challenging aspects in the sense that because I chose not to get caught up in the energy, at first the person thought I was heartless because I wasn't getting caught up in the fact that, you know, a baby got shot in the face. Like, the idea of that bothers me, and I don't want to hear that. But at the same time, I know that me shifting into that vibration will not help the person, will not help the situation. It will only create more of what I don't want. And it took a while for that person to come around to that realization, but eventually they did. So with this energy coming up, it is important for you to realize that you will seem selfish when you don't get carried away with everything that's happening around you, everything that's happening within the community. Because again, we are conditioned to only see less than 1% of visible light. That means there is 99% of things and beings that are around us, amongst us, that we can't see, but we can feel. So some of us can feel a shift in the energy, can feel the a tenseness in the energy. And with us being able to feel this, it's like being able to feel it and not see it can really create a lot of turmoil in a person, because we're conditioned to perceive things through our five senses, but we are perceiving through more than five senses, and the others were left out for a reason, to keep us powerless. So as you move forward, you will be able to feel things, and other people won't be able to feel what you feel. But it is important for you to trust how you feel. It is important for you to trust your vibration and keep your vibration high, even if you appear to be selfish to everyone else. And when I think back about the dream of the animals, you know, taking refuge in my space, I think about, again, energy trying to survive, and how the lizards will come in here because we're taking up the living space. Maybe vibrationally we're taking up space in realms and in different realms, and we don't even know it. So different energies are merging onto each other, and because they're merging onto each other, they might easily come into your space, because your space is habitable, a place where they can survive, because energy doesn't die. It will always survive. You know, and a way how you make yourself, your body, your spaceship, not easy for other beings, lower vibrational beings, to, you know, jump in with you, is by keeping your vibration positive. And also too, it's like, some of us, I go back to the dream with the fish and the responsibility. And when I was having the conversation with the person who helped me to decode the dream, you know, basically she pointed out to me how basically integrity was so important for me, you know, as far as the health of the fish, and me not wanting to keep them out of where they're supposed to be. But she pointed out how basically they have already they already experienced a transition where they're no longer in that space that they were in. And even if I left them in the space that they were in, it's just a matter of time before they're swooped up in someone else's net, because the whole portal and port space was covered in nets. And here I was with this big bag of fish that I didn't even go hunting for, but here they are with me, and it is my responsibility to keep them safe. So what comes to mind is opportunities and things will present themselves in ways to you. And if you are suffering from imposter syndrome, you might not feel like you have what it takes to take on these responsibilities. But if the Creator called on you, then obviously the Creator knows that you have what it takes to do whatever needs to be done. So it is important for you to trust yourself and keep your energy positive, because that's what it all comes down to. There is a war over our minds, and it is through our minds they will control our energy, because based on how you are thinking and how you are feeling is how you are manifesting. And even though we seem powerless, we are not powerless, we are powerful. And like I've mentioned in other videos, think of everything like a vampire movie. A vampire can only come in with your permission, and you give permission when you identify with something. So with the person that I was talking to on the phone last night, when they got that negative headline, They identified with it because they themselves can relate to, say, being shot or maybe having an experience that they identified with in that. So when they identified with that, they allowed that energy in. And when they allowed that energy in, their whole vibration became in alignment with that and started manifesting against their own will. So say, for example, we can get in alignment with the negative energy that will be presented to us to get a rise out of us. And then when we identify with it, we start to manifest and attract chaos and imprison ourselves from it. So watch your energy. Be careful with what you identify with. Identify with things that empower you, things that makes you feel strong, things that build up your confidence, things that remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Since I woke up, I felt so passionate and emotional for no reason. And now that I am done, I spend the 15 minutes and I express this message to you guys, I feel so much lighter. So yeah, it's clear that that was my responsibility to basically be the messenger and share what I just shared with you. If you are still here with me, I would love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.